Welcome to Business as a Magical Practice, where your business is the vehicle for your self-integration and soul evolution. My name is Sam Garcia, and I'm the founder of Dirty Alchemy Digital Marketing. And I'll be guiding you through how you can use your business as a spiritual practice and what magical businesses are doing to hit their goals and change the world. Together, we'll be relating the mystical to the world of business so that our work can unite spirit and matter, shadow and light, conscious and unconscious. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Business as a Magical Practice. I'm your lovely host, Sam Garcia, as always. Unless you're new this week, in which, welcome. It's a weird episode. Usually we're doing some training or we have a special guest, but for every 11 episodes, so it is episode 120, every 11 episodes, we have a very special episode, which is more casual, more behind the scenes. We ask for questions. We get questions on Instagram and via email. You all asking your questions and I get to answer them and just kind of riff. So, quick update, I guess, is like, it's summer. I've batched a bunch of podcast episodes of the last few weeks of podcasts. I recorded them. So this is my first time recording the week of an episode. So this comes out on Thursday. I recorded this episode a few days ago. So we're in real time now. And it's been a while since I've done that. And it's made me really realize how nice batching is. I feel bad for my team. I put this one off till the last minute because we were waiting on a few questions to come in. But it is summer, you guys. It's June 13th when I'm recording this, and it's been a while since I've really felt the feeling of summer. I feel like I grew up in a 4-season environment. I grew up in Michigan, which has pretty strong swings between seasons, where winter is very wintry and summer is very summery. And in Hawaii, it doesn't have swings like that. There aren't like those where Michigan in summertime, the sun goes down at like 10 p.m. The sun is up until like 10 p.m. And then here in Hawaii, on Maui, where I live, there aren't that big swings between seasons throughout the year. So sometimes you don't feel like you're in a particular season, but for whatever reason this year, summer is really feeling summery and laid back and more. I always find summer to be a very romantic season. I think just slowing down and longer evenings and all those things. So it's feeling like that this year, and I'm grateful for it. And I've also been doing a lot of traveling. So this year has been a lot of travel for me, of San Diego and Mexico. And then just this last month, I was in San Francisco and in Austin and Honolulu, which is on Oahu, a different island. I haven't been to Oahu in years. Austin was the first time. I've never been to Texas before. So this was my first experience of Texas, and Austin was very unexpected. It was significantly greener and more wet than I was expecting. And maybe that's why I'm feeling this Michigan winter summer vibe, because Austin reminded me of Michigan in the summer in some ways. Very hot, very humid, long nights. And on the back end of Dirty Alchemy, my business. Again, I'm kind of being like, wait, are people new here? You might be new here. The name of my business, which is a lovely hybrid between marketing agency and business coaching, consulting, and all that lovely stuff, called Dirty Alchemy. We've been doing some restructuring in terms of, for a good year now, I've been doing one-on-one coaching, and we just expanded out and completely redid our one-on-one coaching program. And we're no longer calling it one-on-one coaching, because it's not really one-on-one coaching anymore. It's kind of this epic fusion between marketing agency and coaching, where you get access to my full team and you get to do sessions with my entire team. And just the beauty of that, where instead of meeting with me once a week and us doing our sessions and doing marketing strategy and mindset coaching and spiritual, in-depth, emotional trauma resolution and all the things, you also get access to one of the tech experts on my team, systems experts on my team. You get sessions with the copywriter, and you get copy coaching with her and editing with her. And I'm just so fucking excited about it. Holy moly. I am beyond excited about this new evolution. And it really came through during this last eclipse portal of what it looks like. And just back in May, thank God May is over, because that eclipse portal was fucking intense for everyone. It was
it wasn't this like some people who are clients and friends and stuff, they had a much harder time than I did, but I still fucking felt it. And one big aha that came out of it was how much creative people and people with feminine dominant energy, how supportive it is to get actual support on all elements and to get access to a marketing agency without having to pay tens of thousands of dollars every month to get access to them. And just being able to be supported on with a high level team and supported on all levels, it's so good. It's so good. And so if we are taking a couple more clients in that regard, if you're interested, you can go to thedirtyalchemy.com/apply, or you can DM us on Instagram at The Dirty Alchemy, and we can chat if it's a good fit for you. This is definitely for people who are at the 6-figure mark or around the 6-figure mark or multiple 6 figures, and you're looking to scale to multiple 6 figures or 7 figures in the next 1 to 3 years, and getting support for that entire process. And I mean, other updates on our team front is we're finally moving into focusing on YouTube and really ramping up YouTube video production. And it's been a long time coming. I've been waiting 6 months to focus on this project. And I'm just so delighted, and I'll keep you posted on how that goes. I know quite a few of you are interested in expanding into YouTube, and I'll share insights as they come. So next up, I really want to talk about some favorite things. This is one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things is sharing these favorite things. And I do this on all of the very special episodes. I get to talk about random things, business and non-business related, that I have been really loving. And first one I wanted to share was the Hunting for Purpose podcast. And this is with Holly Marie. And this is a very niche podcast. If you are a manifester in human design, this podcast is completely for manifestors. And I hadn't found one like that before. And I found her a month or two ago. And it's been so fun just hearing a manifester or like multiple manifestors talk about being a manifester, because I think we're only like 8% of the population. So we are a minority. And so if you're a manifestor listening, I highly recommend that podcast, just in terms of learning your own cycle, especially because we're in this fish tank that is 60 something percent generators or manifesting generators, which is just very, very different. And I know there's a lot of support for projectors, and so many human design readers are projectors. So like projector resources are everywhere. I feel like the majority of the world is generators, so like you don't need any special advice. But this is the first one where I found like a manifestor specific group, and it's been great. Second favorite thing I wanted to share on a completely different angle is I've been doing face yoga, it feels more like face massage or face exercises. And I'm going to share a YouTube video down in the show notes, or you can just search on YouTube face yoga. And it's pretty much ways that you can either you're using your hands, or you're just doing like special movements with your face to activate the muscles in your face, which are very tiny muscles, and also helping your lymph system in your face to drain, because it's just like this tiny little, like right below the skin surface is our lymph system. And there aren't muscles that, like the cardiovascular system, you can work out through, I don't know, exercise, running. But our lymph system is, I mean, some people talk about like jumping on a trampoline or a rebounder to work your lymph system, but you also see like body brushing for lymph drainage. But there isn't any like movement or systems in our body. Like the lymph system is something that you actually have to assist with in a lot of ways, whether that's through walking or through actually like using your hands. If you're watching on YouTube, like you see me petting my neck right now, of like actually helping your lymph system, which is this very delicate system, to drain out. And I've been really enjoying it. Face yoga, I'm talking about, of definitely like you see a lot more. And this is like something you can do in like 5 or 10 minutes, and like non-invasive, very simple. If not, like it'll feel silly when you do it, of using these muscles. And I've been feeling immediate relaxation, which I'm realizing how many acupressure points are in your face and like around your jawline and near your ears. So like you're activating these different acupressure points, and it's like, I don't know, I'm 31, which like in the scheme of things is like a child. Like I still feel so incredibly young, but at the same time, being in my 30s, I'm seeing the skin on my face change, and like, oh, wrinkles are actually settling in and stuff like that. So being aware of that as having aging skin and wanting to take the best care and not wanting to do any sort of surgery on my face like some people are more open to, but that's not something that I'm personally interested in at all. So this is something that I've been playing with and actually been feeling immediate feedback on with my face and with my nervous system relaxing. So if that's interesting for you, check it out. There are a bunch of videos on YouTube that you can use. Apparently there's a book on face yoga. I don't have it, but been definitely loving it on a few different fronts. And then the third favorite thing I want to share, which is so fucking random, is I got a fanny pack for walking my dogs. And it feels like a big upgrade. Just, I would always be like, I would tie little doggy poop bags around the leashes, and like I wouldn't bring treats unless I had shorts on with a pocket on. And sometimes I don't have shorts with pockets or a dress with pockets. So I would always be forgetting things. And I just got this fanny pack. It's really cute. It's teal. And I'm just keeping all my little like dog essentials when I walk my dogs. And it's such a good example to me of these micro upgrades that we can make that like can have a pretty significant impact on our well-being and our joy and our ease in life. And we always think about like, oh, I need to like upgrade to like a expensive apartment, or I need to upgrade my car to like a new car. Like I need to like completely redecorate my house, when a lot of times we can have this huge upgrade in our lives just by identifying frustrations that come on a daily basis and actually addressing them of like, oh, maybe I should get a power strip with a bunch more plugs into it so I don't have to like unplug and replug things in every time I need to use my air conditioner or whatever. Like, oh, maybe I should get a fanny pack so I don't forget the dog treats again and my dogs end up acting like little terrors. Or maybe I should get the water delivery service instead of like having to remember to refill my water jugs every week. So I love finding those little micro upgrades. It's actually like my favorite thing of like these tiny, tiny little upgrades that we can make. So this was one of those recent ones. So as you may have noticed from the title of this episode, this is a hiring focused, what's it called? Very special episode. There we go. So we specifically gathered hiring questions from you guys of hiring for your team via Instagram, via our email list. And so we got 3 great questions today from you on hiring. And it is one of my favorite topics, legitimately, because I just love working on a team. And one of a really big motivator for me for growing my business is being able to hire more people and to be able to give people amazing jobs and to give people raises. And just because I've had shitty job experiences, or I haven't wanted to work a traditional job. So being able to give people non-traditional work in a spiritual space and an online business space has been such a dream, because it's what I wanted. And I know a lot of you told me that you feel the same way. So such a fun topic. So hiring is key to having a business that you love. And finally, you can spend more time in your zone of genius because you know that other people are in their zone of genius doing the tasks that you don't have time for, or you just don't want to do. But it's also something that so many of us have resistance and blocks around, especially if you're afraid of letting go of control, or you don't think that anyone will care about your business as much as you do, or you have any blocks around being supported. That's a really big one underlying for people, of like, they just feel like they can't be supported, or they've never been supported in their lives. And it's actually been really amazing working with clients where like they're literally brought to tears by the level of support that we can give them, or we help them hire a team that gives them that level of support. And what a opening and freeing and just melting experience that is just to be supported. Because I mean, as humans, we're meant to work in community. I mean, we've been talking about human design a little bit in this podcast. So if you're a non-sacral being, like you're a manifestor, you're a projector, or you're a manifesting generator and you like to start a bunch of projects and do a bunch of projects at one time, like having systems in place, having a team in place is so key in actually having your business continue forward, and you not just like starting something and it never getting off the ground, or it never coming to completion, or you burn it down because you don't want to keep doing the tasks. So love team. Let us jump in though. So our first question is, I have no one to hire. It's so hard to find good people. Help. Oh, so sad. I hear your pain. I understand. And let me just tell you that I have a feeling what's actually the case is there are so many people to hire, and it can become overwhelming. That's probably what's actually the thing underneath this, because there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people who are looking for a new job, or who would love to jump away from the current company they're working in, or agencies or VAs or OBMs or whatever. So there are a ton of people out there. So I'm just inviting you to have a different perspective, because if you believe that no one's good to hire, then you're gonna have a hard time actually seeing the good people that are out there, or calling out aspects of people so that they're better supporters of you. But just on a really practical level, my favorite way of very basic level of where to find people is, if you have an audience of any kind, make a job description and actually put together a really put as much time and intention into writing a job description as you would a sales page, right? Because you're selling someone on why you're an amazing company to work with, right? So put as much care and attention as you would getting a new client as getting someone else on your team. It is unquestionably more important. Okay. Your next team member is more important than your next client, I have to say. So if you have an audience, share that epic job description with your audience. And I love, love, love doing this because they already know your work. And I don't worry if you don't have an audience, I have stuff for you, but I want to do this first. If you hire from your audience, they already know you. They already know your work. They already know your voice. They already know your values. They already know what kind of business you run. They already know all of these things. So they come in at an advantage and at a really great starting point, more so than hiring someone blind who doesn't know your business. They will care more for your business. They will care more about your clients and customers. They probably already have ideas on how to do your business better. So if you do have an audience, highly recommend creating that epic job description and sharing it with your audience. You can do that by sending out emails. You can do that by posting it on Instagram. And then another great way is to ask for referrals. Okay, so this can be from peers in the online space, assuming you're in an online business. And if you're listening to this, you're most likely an online business. If you're in a mastermind group, ask the other people in your mastermind group. If you have a mentor, ask your mentor. If you have friends in the online space, ask them. Survey in a Facebook group. If you have a great Facebook group you really like, you can just post in that Facebook group saying, does anyone have a referral for whatever job position? Okay. Something else, I mean, I should have said this before those things. What you actually want to do first is ask yourself, do I want them to bring expertise to the table, or do I want to train them? And obviously this is not an either or, this is a spectrum, but you might be at a point in your business where you just want to hire someone who already knows what to do. They are already excellent at their craft, and you're just hiring them to come in and take something over completely, or bring something more to the table. So maybe you just want to hire a copywriter who can write better than you can, or you want to hire a tech person who can build funnels because you fucking hate tech and you never want to learn how to do that stuff. Great. Or you are willing to train someone to do something that you're already doing. And there is pros and cons to both sides. The pros of hiring someone with already has expertise is, I mean, obvious, like they already know what to do and they're bringing a lot to the table. The downside is they're expensive, right? They're going to command a much, much, much higher hourly rate. However, if you're willing to train someone and bring someone on who's like doesn't even consider themselves a virtual assistant, but they're just smart and they're tech savvy and whatever. I just like my bias is going to come out when I talk about this, because this is what I like to do. I like to hire people who are not trained and train them, and hire based off of values and connection, and them me just recognizing that they're smart and capable and independent. And I usually hire introverts because we have a completely remote business. And I'm like, if you're extroverted, you most likely want to have an in-person business where you have lots of meetings. Like, this is an introvert team where we like barely ever meet. We just like communicate via Voxer. Okay, that was a tangent. So over here, if you're willing to train someone, you're going to pay them a significantly lower hourly rate, and you're going to, because it's going to take them a while to learn things. You're probably going to have to have them go through online courses or walk them through step by step how to do things. You might have to give them tons of feedback before they get something right, but they're much more cost effective for you. And honestly, you're going to have to train someone no matter what on how you want them to do things. So there is, like, even if someone is coming to the table with expertise, there will be a learning curve. So ask yourself where you're at. Like, if you don't know how to do things and you like need someone to do it, like, of course you're going to hire someone who already has expertise. But if you already know what needs to happen in your business and you're just trying to hand over tasks, like the last 2 hires I've done was straight off of Craigslist. I just posted, I wanted someone who lived on Maui, and I just posted, which is like not an online, like if you're posting in San Francisco, you're going to like get a gazillion different people who know how to do all of these things. Well, we're like, Maui is like, I don't know, an online business desert. So I've hired from Maui and gotten great hires of like, yes, I had to go through an interview process and there were like tons of people applying who weren't a good fit, but I've gotten really great people with them. Like, one had a graphic design skill set and was like in school for graphic design. Another one has a background in documentary editing, so now she's like helping out with our YouTube videos and all of these things. So I've just posted on Craigslist. I've had friends hiring for their larger business than mine, and I had people who like I could pick from a pool of people that they've been through their interview process. So there's a lot of amazing things if you do network within this space. And like, I mean, this is like such a call out for mastermind groups, or like getting and creating connections within Facebook groups or wherever you're at, and actually making connections in this space it does make hiring easier, because you can ask for those referrals. You can, if someone else is hiring, you could be like, hey, was there anyone that you didn't hire but you like was a potential for working with you? And just returning back to the question to make sure I fully answered it, I have no one to hire. It's so hard to find good people. Help. And obviously, if you were on this call, I would ask you, what have you already tried to do? Have you already tried to do all of these things and you're still not getting people? Because it could be your job description. It could be where you're posting it. It could be just, I mean, a mindset thing. There's so much with training people. I mean, I could make an entire online course on how to train people to be a great team members. So it also could be you. But we won't go down that rabbit hole. Okay, so the next question is, how can I know if it's time to let someone go? I've been feeling like someone I hired a year ago isn't a good fit for my team. That is a real problem. So thank you for bringing it to the table. First of all, I would reflect you and reflect on your business. Where are you going and what support do you need? So like let's look at the trajectory of your business over the last year and where you want it to go in the next few years. What did you hire this person for? Was it just that they are no longer engaged, or their passions have shifted to another area? Maybe they're starting their own business. Or is it something where they are being challenged enough? Are they in the wrong seat? It's very common to have the right person in your business, but to have them in the wrong seat in your business, and they just need a title change and a responsibility change. What is a big misconception is one of the top reasons that people will leave their job or will want to swap jobs is because it's not challenging enough, especially when we're talking about A players and people who you want on your team for the long term. So if you are not challenging them and they've been with you for an entire year and they're just getting fucking bored of the business and if they're doing stuff that's beneath them, you might want to simply move them, elevate them, move them to a different seat in the business. Or, I mean, it really could be that they're no longer a fit, and that is 100% okay. I would ask, have you had a conversation with them? Okay. Like, have you had a conversation like, hey, what's going on here? Like, are you sick? Is something going on in your life? Like, I've had there can be really real reasons, like a family member is sick, or their dog died, or they are like dealing with a mental health issue, and like actually having a conversation of what's going on, and from this leadership space where they can actually communicate. And probably if you're unhappy with them and you feel like it's not good, like there's gotta be, like, it's gonna be the same on their end. Like there's gonna be something going on their end that they're not happy with as well. And it could have to do with your business, or it could not. I mean, this is also a really good reason to do 6-month reviews with your people. So just have a standing 6-month recurring calendar event where you meet up with your people and do a check-in and review their work and have them review what they're doing, just to stay on top of things, because a year can go by really quickly. And if you don't have like standing meetings where you're reviewing, then a lot of things can change. Also, something you can do here is share your vision and how you want to be supported. Of course, you need to reflect on this first. Don't reflect on this with this person. So you need to know what the vision of your business is, and you need to know how you want to be supported within your business. And then share that with them and ask them if they want to be a part of this mission. How do they want to grow with the company? Like, again, another reason why people will leave a job is because they don't understand where they can go. They don't understand how they can like elevate within the business. So you actually letting them know, like, there is room to grow within this business, and be like, okay, in X amount of time, like this would be your next role within the business. This is how I see it growing, is an excellent thing. And something I like asking when I hire people, but you should continue asking them, because I mean, our opinions and our visions change all the time, is what is their 5-year desire? So when I hire someone, a part of my interview process is where do you see yourself in 5 years? And if they're like, I want to be killing it in my own online business, I'm like, it, depending on the role, it's like either like, okay, cool, like that can work for the short term in my business, or it's like, well, no, I'm not going to hire you just if you're going to go and use all of my stuff. Probably like use my IP and in your own business. No. So, but you should also like continue asking people, like, if you're hiring someone as a virtual assistant and they would say like, oh, I really would love to be a copywriter, it could be like amazing. Like you can learn that skill set within this job, and like you'll be a copywriter on my team, like amazing. But if it is something where like, oh, I want to be full-time in my Etsy soap shop business, it's just like, this probably isn't a good fit. So asking them what their vision is, and like, do they see themselves growing with the company, or is it something where they see themselves in a completely different space? So, and then if you realize that they are not a good fit, and you've come to this either before having a conversation with them or after having a conversation with them, don't make it personal. Like, it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It doesn't mean that they did anything wrong. I mean, like, definitely reflect on that and see if there's stuff to learn from it. But it can be as simple as growing in different directions. And what it means is that they're going to be a great fit for either their own business or another team, or another role. And it also means that you get to find the perfect person for your team. You get to have the level of support that you want and need. If you're dissatisfied with a person, like, it doesn't mean like you don't have to settle for them. It is absolutely incredible, especially if you're a heart-based business owner, if you have a mission-based business and you see your business as a way to make serious change in the world, then there are people who are like bleeding, like who are dying to work for a business like that, and who would desperately want to come onto your team. So if you're not getting that level of commitment and excitement, then just know that it's out there. Just know that you get to have that. Okay. So question 3 is, I'm about to hire my first support person, I'm guessing. but I can't decide if I should hire a regular virtual assistant or an online business manager. I like the idea of having someone in charge of managing the whole business, but since it's my first hire, I should probably start with the cheaper candidate, right? And first of all, I'm going to say it depends, like most of the time. So it really, really, really depends on where you are financially in your business, how much time you have. So, for example, a client who was in the first round of the Alchemical Business Intensive, she was hiring for the first time, and she was already making 300, she made 300,000 in her online business the previous year and was on track to make 500,000 that upcoming year. And she had never hired a single person for her business. Okay, just her alone. She just got really good at selling and like kept on increasing her prices. And she was like within the Alchemical Business Intensive, she was hiring her first person, and she like brought up for coaching, like, I found this great OBM, online business manager, and she's $50 an hour. Like, that sounds high to me. And like, this is like the downside of like taking so long to hire, is like her hourly rate, if you like calculated what her time was, and she was like, I can't believe I would be paying someone $50 an hour to like send emails in my email service provider. And it's like, okay, let's just like, first of all, look at how much your hourly rate is. Like, what is, let's do some math. Cause I know she wasn't working 40 hours a week in her business, but like, let's say she was, like, her hourly rate was, if she was working 40 hours a week, which I know for a fact she wasn't, her hourly rate was $250. And if she was working like, let's say 25 hours a week, her hourly rate is like $400 per hour. And she's worrying about paying someone. She would rather do it herself than pay someone $50 an hour to do it, who would be a great fit. So her time was worth so much more than that. And it made zero sense not for her to not hire someone who she thought was an amazing fit for the business, who'd be there for the long term. And this might not be the case for you. Like, you might be at a much lower revenue and looking to hire for the first time, which is totally normal. I'm such a fan of hiring before you're ready, because it can really, really, really open up so much for you when you actually start getting supported. But for first hires, I always want to think about, how can hiring this person make me more money? This is so important when you're like, I want to bring this up specifically for the first hire, because you're usually like, when you're starting to pay someone to do stuff that you would be doing, it's like, but I could just be taking all of that money, but now I'm like spending it on someone else, and I could just be doing that thing. So the little hack right here is, how is hiring this person making me more money? Okay, how is giving them my money actually making me more money? And the way to do that is either only hiring people to do money-making activities, profit-generating activities, or giving them the tasks, getting tasks off your plate, handing tasks over to them so that you can be doing more money-making activities. Of course, this means you need to know what money-making activities are for your business. And a lot of people don't know this, right? They're just like going about their 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week or 80 hours a week, however many hours a week you're working on your business. And they're just filling the time with things that are very useful and not very useful. So great opportunity. I invite you right now to do an audit of your tasks and an audit of your time, of what activities are actually moving the needle forward in my business. Is making incredibly beautiful things on Canva a good use of time for myself or my first hire? Or is it just a waste of time at this point? And it's not actually. Is writing Instagram posts a money-making activity, or is it a waste of time? Is responding to DMs a money-making activities, or is it a waste of time? Is checking emails a money-making activity, or is it a waste of time? Oftentimes they can be either or, and oftentimes it'll depend on the business. So like, another invitation right now, like, how have you gotten your past clients? What was in past launches that you did? What were the strategies that made you the most money? For a lot of people, copywriting, writing things for either Instagram or sending out emails, like great money-making activities, but that's not 100% of the time. Like, no, like look at your own track record, okay? And for other people, it's doing direct pitches. For other people, it is like getting people onto sales calls because they know they convert sales calls really well. Okay. So knowing what your money-making activities is just like mind-blowingly important. And most people don't know what those are. And I mean, doing it like, if you have a podcast, does your podcast actually bring in customers? Or are you just building an audience of people who aren't actually buying? Right. So really, really important one. Of course, always delete the useless tasks. Stop doing the things that aren't actually bringing money in. And this changes as you start making more money, because like you're starting to build a brand, you're starting to build a much bigger thing. But if you're doing your first hire, I'm gonna assume that your money is either tight or there's a little less wiggle room than just having extra tens of thousands of dollars every month to spend on people. And so delete useless tasks. Just stop doing them. They don't matter. Like, just stop doing them. Don't delegate things that don't matter. Like, does posting on Instagram stories actually matter for you? Is it a huge time suck? I don't know. You know this, or like you need to decide this within your business. Because I mean, none of us can have cookie cutter businesses. We're all meant to have like really unique businesses that are the expression of the soul of your business, that are expression of you and your unique talents, that are an expression of the constellation of your team. So anyways, so delete useless tasks before ever handing them over to someone, and give away tasks that are super draining to you, or delegate tasks that are money makers if that person have the capacity. From there, like, what are the tasks that you're actually giving away? Because you said like, oh, it would be so nice. I love the idea of having someone in charge of managing the whole business. If you're at a point where you already know what is important in your business and you can just tell them what the person actually needs to manage, often we want to hand over the role of managing our business before we actually know what works in our business. Okay. So like, cool, someone's going to manage my entire social media account, but I don't even know if they have a track record of actually making sales with social media. So knowing how your business works and what really works in your business is so important before handing that over. So it really depends. It depends on how much money you have extra in your business that you can give to people. It depends on how hard the tasks are, because an OBM usually has more skill. I mean, and it totally depends. Like, not all VAs are created equal. Not all OBMs are created equal. So it's really about like, what can they actually do? What can they actually bring to the table? And consistently assess them on a month-to-month basis. Because I mean, go back to question one of like, how do I hire and find good people? Like, are you bringing someone on and training them how to do everything in your business? Or are you hiring someone from an OBM agency? Because that's going to be different. It's going to be really, really different. And I've met OBMs that are life-changing for people, and I've met OBMs that are just absolute nightmares. Okay. So just from the way that you're phrasing this question, probably you most likely should get a virtual assistant, because it sounds like you're still at the point where you need to figure out what's best for your business and how to manage it before you can delegate managing. It's like a lot of people, I've heard of CEOs or like business owners that want to hire a CEO, or like they want to hire a social media manager, but they don't already understand how to sell themselves. They just want to hire someone out to do it for them, and it doesn't work out because you often cannot delegate things that you don't already know how to do, unless it's like, I don't know, building a funnel on ClickFunnels and you're a super not tech savvy person and you need to actually hire that out, then it's different. Okay. So I'm going to stop rambling on that. Let me know if you have any more questions about hiring. Always like chatting about hiring. And just to close us off, I want to share some wins. I want to share some wins from the Alchemical Business Intensive. If you do not know what that is our small group program, Alchemical Container. That is a 5-month Alchemical Container where you get a massive suite of curriculums and trainings, but also access to me and my team and group coaching and Celebrating this week, we had 3 amazing wins come in of Christina. She doubled her prices for her one-on-one sessions and was very resistant to this idea. It like scared her. And within 2 weeks, even within 1 week of her actually pitching people, she got 2 clients at that price in the first week. And it was a 2 out of 2 score. It wasn't like she was like pitching 100 people and got 2 yeses. She like pitched 2 new clients and got 2 new clients at this doubled price. So yay, Christina. Also want to celebrate Maritza, who just casually sold $45,000 of a new group offer. She was doing one-on-one coaching in the DEI space, and it was like, I want more time back. So I want to do this as a group program, and just pitched some of her one-on-one clients to switch over to a group program, and casually made $45,000 this last week. So celebrating Maritza. And then Maud 6x'd her price. So increased her price for her in-person retreat, and sold out the top tier of that retreat within the first week. So lots of fucking amazing juice in the Alchemical Business Intensive right now. We're like only a few weeks in, people are getting insane results, as you can tell. If you're interested in joining the fall round of the Alchemical Business Intensive that we're starting this fall, so in a few months, you can already apply. So if you want to apply now, you can jump on a call with me this month even and get started within ABI, the Alchemical Business Intensive. The program will actually start in the fall, but you get instant access to the curriculum, which is everything that you need to know to actually become the visionary CEO of your business, and to systematize your business, to build an amazing team, make it so that you're spending 80 to 90% of your time in your zone of genius. And I mean, it's really about reclaiming your time while more and more money flows in, which is my favorite thing to talk about. So all you have to do is go to thedirtyalchemy.com/ABI. Tons and tons of information on that page, tons of testimonials. You can watch videos of people from previous rounds and just apply there. So you all, that's the end of our very special episode this week. Thank you for being here with me. Of course, please subscribe if you aren't already. Please rate and review this podcast if you are called to. It makes a very, very big difference to the iTunes or whatever, Spotify or whatever, wherever you're listening to this, the algorithm there. So it takes less than 60 seconds just to pull up the podcast and hit rate and review. And it would be a huge thing. And I fucking love reading those reviews. So you all have a lovely, lovely June Thursday during this lovely summer month. And I'll talk to you next week.